Hello, we're back. I'm here with my co-host Nikki Pelosi. I have my guests Anthony Miguelino, Tommy Jubilis, and Alex Lucius. So here we are, sitting at the Final Four left. The Elite Eight, you know. See that pole in Miggs' hand?
This one right here.
We might as well hit ourselves in the head with it because the Dukies, baby.
The Blue Devils of Duke have disappointed.
They let us down.
I'm talking to you.
Grayson
Blue Devils
Allen.
faculty, especially you, Grayson Allen. You're a senior on the number 2 team seeded in this tournament, and you can't get one bucket, when the game is tied and it's about to end.
That was a tough finish.
It's over. I'm angry. I'm upset. I'm mad. It's just absolutely unbelievable.
You know,
dude.
Grayson Allen has a new
even
dad,
speak about it.
and his name is Malik Newman.
Yeah, Malik Newman.
Yeah.
He was a talent.
He
He put up
He's
30.
been playing ridiculous in the whole
32.
tournament. I think
13 and OT. He's
He has
the only
the
one
second
that
best
scored in
record for
OT.
Kansas
13 and OT.
right now with most
He had
points.
13
I've never
OT.
seen.
Only person
I've
that
never
scored.
seen a man who was more automatic in my life.
Let me rock.
He was
Yeah.
he was unconscious. He was in a coma hitting those things. It's unbelievable.
Every shot from the corner drained it.
Yeah. No, Tom. Like every time he got in the corner, what were you saying?
Just get
Cash.
back. Just get back on
Yeah,
defense.
it was barbecue chicken at that point.
Not every time.
So we'll go to the other side of the bracket. We'll come back to Kansas and Villanova,
Yeah,
but
please, yeah.
but we got the sleepers. Loyola Chicago, Sister
What a
Jean.
great
2020.
story that team has been.
Unbelievable.
They're tied for the lowest seed to ever make it to the Final Four, the 11th seed,
VCU, George Mason.
and
LSU.
LSU
LSU.
in 1978. Yeah. It's unbelievable that they're here. To be honest, like I feel like VCU,
This is a
George
team.
Mason, and
At least
And LSU?
they're somewhat known.
They at least
yeah,
have,
they're
like,
known.
history.
And George Mason
VCU was nice.
George Mason had
VCU
Norris
was
Cole on the
nice,
team.
man.
He's
I
a
remember
great
that.
player for the Miami Heat. But Loyola Chicago, like,
out of nowhere. Just a
and they don't
random
have
mid-major.
anyone. They don't have
Random
anyone.
mid-major.
You don't.
But they all just play so well
They
together.
play so well
so
together.
together,
Yeah.
Like they're just not a team that just looks like they play in the mid-major. They
No.
look like they've been up against big teams all season.
And it's not like they
And
have.
they beat
Which
Florida
is why-
early
Yeah,
on in the
yeah.
year too.
Start
Exactly.
taking more mid-major programs.
Exactly.
rather
It's
than,
once you
like-
give teams like this a
Exactly,
chance,
you
you'll
give
see
them
how good they are.
opportunity.
It's not like they have
Like,
one
why was
player
St.
carrying them either.
Yeah, why
Their
was
whole
St.
team
Mary's
is cohesive.
Why was St. Mary's, who was 8-5, not in the tournament?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, for the last 5 years, the Missouri Valley Conference champion has won the first round of the NCAA
Exactly.
tournament.
Wow.
Last
a
year
good-
that was last year that was Wichita State, right?
Yes, it
Who
was.
did they
No,
play
they're
in the
not.
Elite
No,
Eight?
they're
No,
not.
last year when they were in it.
last
Who
year.
did
Yeah,
they
yeah.
play in the Elite Eight? Loyola Chicago.
Kansas State.
Kansas State.
I mean,
Another team.
once
Let me tell
They
you,
they have
They
been
beat
getting a
Kentucky.
little bit
I'll be
of an
honest with
easier
you.
road.
I'll be honest.
Who?
They played with the most
Like-
heart I've ever seen in this whole tournament.
Like the teams that they could
Most
have
hard.
faced, they have not really seen. They should
Yeah.
have faced either Virginia or
Arizona.
Well, Virginia
didn't face
well,
either one.
Virginia, like, they deserve to be out. They lost by 20-16.
No, Loyola's on the
Like,
bottom
that
side of the bracket. They played Tennessee.
Yeah,
Oh,
they-
Tennessee. Sorry,
beat
sorry.
Tennessee.
I
They
was
beat
thinking-
Yeah, they
Tennessee,
beat a 3
They beat
seed.
Miami.
A lot
Yeah.
of people.
They beat Miami.
A lot of people said it would be
They
good.
did. They did.
Kansas
Exactly.
State.
But so a lot of people did have Miami getting out that first round, regardless to them.
But
Cooper.
a lot of
People had Tennessee
Purdue?
going very far.
Purdue.
Yeah.
They lost.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, Purdue, they just were behind the whole game, and
They don't like to win
And-
the tournament.
well, it's just
just
that
don't care.
they were just killed by injury.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, if Isaac Hobbs.
Isaac Haas is
Your best
he's
player
he's
going
a
down,
he's
yeah.
a like game changing player. He's a
is.
good.
he's one of the best big men in college basketball easily,
A large Caucasian man, 7'2", I believe, has
Yeah.
kind of a Jimmy.
and he's tough too.
And
He's a
he's tough.
bucket. He's a bucket.
He's got the
Frank
shimmy.
Kaminsky a
He's
little
got the
bit.
He's like Frank Kaminsky,
He's
yeah.
a reminder of
He's
Frank
like-
Kaminsky when he was on
He
Wisconsin.
can't shoot as well.
I mean, I don't really
as well,
care. He broke
yes,
his elbow,
obviously,
though.
but like similar.
He can
I guess
shoot though.
player.
Give him an open spot up. It's butter.
So I think the team that a lot of people are sleeping on and have been sleeping on the whole tournament, but they consistently just get it done, is the Michigan Wolverines. I mean, they're another cold weather team.
Wolverines.
Wolverine.
They're Wolverines.
I think more people are sleeping on Villanova than me.
No, Michigan.
No.
Michigan's another.
I feel like everyone just says Villanova's
I'm telling
just an automatic bid.
They're
It's
just
fine.
Yeah.
so
Well, that's why
They're
Houston.
talented.
That's why Houston almost
Last
beat
year-
Michigan. So.
Right?
Michigan's a
They
cold
were
weather
against
team.
last year in the
Yeah,
finals.
Michigan's
No.
cold
They
weather.
play hard.
Yeah.
They're like Buffalo.
Well,
Yeah.
Chicago's a cold weather team.
And they won.
Villanova's
Exactly.
better than their championship
What
team.
does that
Yes,
prove?
I
Everything.
agree. I said that.
You think?
Jalen Brunson is better than any player that was on that team.
He is
They are
phenomenal.
so
and then
good.
Mikal Bridges.
Mikal
he's
Bridges.
great.
I just like to point out, Tommy.
Every role player
Hold on.
on that team is fantastic too.
Yeah.
All of them. like that Pascal guy. I don't know why, but he has the silkiest form I've seen.
Tom, can I just point out that Michigan, Loyola, Chicago, and who else is in it? Villanova are all teams who see all 4 seasons of the year. They see snow, all that stuff. I mean, Kansas is hot all year round, but
that's why Villanova's going to win.
The cold weather builds character.
Well,
I guarantee you Kansas will not win the national title for that reason. I'm telling
according
you.
to your logic, there's no heaters inside the gym, right?
No, what I'm
it's just
saying
cold in
is
the gym,
that they go outside. It's cold out. They got to face adversity. Where Kansas can stay the same the whole year.
No, you're
Stick
right.
to the
No,
same
I agree
workout
with you.
plan.
I agree. I'm just playing devil's advocate here, just for
Yeah.
these two over here because they don't agree with you.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is, based off the cold weather, these teams simply play better.
Absolutely.
Given the fact that they're around coldness, they're around adversity, they're around bitterness. all year.
100% my humble opinion. Yep.
I agree 100%.
Buffalo
Thank
beat
you.
Arizona
Tell me
in
it's
cold
true.
weather.
Buffalo beat Arizona.
Tell me why the Denver Broncos in football are
UMBC beat Virginia. Maryland's pretty hot. I mean, cold.
Maryland's hot.
Virginia's hot.
It's,
Maryland's not hot. What are you talking about?
South.
I mean, they both.
they're
They're
both
both like in the
down
south.
or
pretty
south,
much.
down south.
Maryland's not down
Miami
south.
lost to
Not down
Miami
south,
lost
but
to
it's
Loyola
farther down.
Chicago. Loyola in the
Well,
cold.
he's not wrong.
Miami.
That's what
Maryland
happens.
is colder than Virginia, so I'll give you credit where credit.
Yeah, thank you.
Exactly.
All right, so let's
Now,
move on.
away from the nonsense.
Villanova versus Kansas. That's obviously a
Kansas.
more intriguing matchup.
I would have to say
Nikki, you
Villanova.
haven't said much. What do you got to say
Let me
about
tell
that?
you why Kansas is gonna win.
Put the mic over here.
You
First
have
of
them in
all-
your bracket?
Kansas.
First of all, I'll tell you why Kansas is gonna win.
That's the only reason.
Because they got a guy named number 13. Number 13, who's the best player I've ever seen.
What's his
Wait,
name?
What's his name?
Malik Newman.
I
T13.
think he's 14.
And who's the best
Okay.
player on their team?
Devontae
They
Graham.
also have a coach
Devontae-
named.
That's why Devontae Graham is going to win AP.
They also have a coach
player.
named Bill Self, I believe.
Yeah.
Bill Self.
And they're
Bill
all
Self.
about themselves.
And last time I checked, Bill Self is the worst March Madness coach ever in history of existence. So I'm surprised he's even here.
Wait, and
to
did
be
you know
honest.
this? Did you know this? Kansas actually won in 1998 and in 2008. And guess what year it is now? 2018. It's 8. They're going to win.
Patterns don't matter. Patterns don't exist in America.
You know, patterns matter about as much as cold weather, so I think the Kansas might win now
Yep.
hearing that.
Yep.
But
That's a
they
valid
said
statement.
they don't
I'd say cold.
have a
What?
cold temperature.
Mario,
I know, but
Mario
now it's
Chalmers.
But what's more important? Patterns or
Mario
cold weather?
Chalmers.
I think
I don't know. It's gonna be. I gotta check on that one.
You gotta look.
I gotta go back
you
to
gotta
Secaucus
you
for that
gotta
one.
go. You
Go
gotta
to Secaucus
You
and
got,
replay that.
Coop, you gotta go to the lab and go check out
I
stats.
did say coming into the tournament, I said whoever did come out of the Midwest would most likely win
What region was that?
national championship. That's Duke, Kansas, Michigan State.
I disagree.
I think
Who'd win?
Michigan? Kansas will win.
I think they're
It's
gonna
going to be a great game versus Villanova, and I think they'll.
Because I think
What seed is Villanova?
I think-
You think Kansas will win?
Yeah.
I think
What seed's Villanova? What seed's
I think
Villanova?
Villanova.
They're both one.
Simply better.
Villanova's been cracking.
Oh, ref. I got you.
I just think I'm going to hold my word on the Midwest.
Villanova is the most dominant team I've seen in a while in college basketball, to be honest. I think they'll win by 10 plus. I don't think Kansas
it might
has
be.
enough firepower offensively. I know they have Devontae Graham and Malik Newman, but they really don't have anyone
They have
else. He could shoot, but he could.
Azubuike's very good.
Get Azza.
Azubuike is an overrated player.
Azubuike's
And then they have-
Nova's smart. Nova's gonna get them in.
smart, yeah,
Nova's
yeah.
gonna get him in foul trouble right away.
about as good as my left boot. Azubuike's
Don't get me wrong,
big
I don't
and
want
somewhat
Kansas to win
athletic.
because I'm a
Villanova
fan.
matches up perfectly
I'd rather have
against
Villanova
You're
win.
right.
I
Kansas.
just think Kansas
Perfect.
is going to win.
Jalen Brunson.
Villanova also has experience.
Yeah,
Villanova
They won
does.
2 years ago.
Jalen Brunson is a clamp and can
Listen.
get buckets.
I would rather have Villanova win, but I just feel like Kansas can win.
This game, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna be close
It's going to be the biggest game
for
of the year.
35 minutes, and then due to the fact that Villanova is more experienced, they are way more fundamentally sound. Most fundamentally sound team I've ever seen in my life. They will come.
They come from cold weather.
Yeah, and they come from cold weather. So they're gonna. I think they're gonna just. They're gonna start like I don't know how to say this. They're gonna start taking the game away from Kansas late in the game.
You're not wrong.
Like it's gonna be close throughout that, but like towards the end, it's not gonna be a contest. They'll
All
win
right.
by 10 plus.
So,
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, we don't want to bore you guys. I know we talk a lot and everything. Migs, who's your pick to win the national title?
Who do you want me to say?
Well, I can't.
Well,
really
is it
give you
is this a
opinion.
matter of who do I want to win or who do I think
Who
will
do you
win?
think's gonna
We
win?
didn't do Chicago.
Can I say both?
We didn't talk about the other game.
Louis, Chicago, or Michigan?
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So let's
Actually,
talk
that's
about
another interesting
Loyola, Chicago, and Michigan.
It's interesting.
Now,
Because they match up so like.
I keep seeing all over Twitter and everything, the clock hasn't struck midnight for Loyola Chicago.
The slipper still fits.
The slipper fits.
fits.
It does.
It fits.
Now, at the end of the game, Michigan, Loyola Chicago, in my humble opinion, the clock is going to strike midnight. That's all I got to say.
It could. I
That's,
think
you
it
guys
very
can talk
well
about it.
could.
That's all
I'm
I
gonna
have to
say-
about it.
Michigan has no fire.
When we did talk about the podcast last week, when we were talking about these games, I was the only one that did take Loyola Chicago to win in the Sweet 16 out of you guys. And I still think they have a very slim chance to beat Michigan because Michigan's red hot right now.
Yeah.
It is.
I do
They have the
think
longest win streak in the country.
I want them to win.
Hasn't lost since January.
Since January,
Really?
yes.
Yeah.
But
Both of them have the top 2 win streaks.
Yeah.
in the country right now.
Who's number one, Michigan?
Michigan.
no, Loyola, I think, is
Loyola.
ahead
Oh,
of
it
them.
is?
I want Loyola to
This game
win,
might go to quadruple
but
OT.
Hey, man.
I just have to take Michigan. Michigan's going to win this game. It's going to be a good game.
Connecticut.
Syracuse.
I'll have to go with Mo Wagner. And Mo Wagner.
That's my
This
He-
Michigan team might be better than the one with Trey Young,
Trey
Burke.
Trey Burke,
Well, yeah, there
Uh,
never was a Michigan team with Trey Young.
Glenn
Tim
Robinson,
Hardaway,
Tim
Glenn.
Hardaway.
Yeah, well, are they better than the Fab Five? I don't think
I'll tell you one thing though, Michigan.
No.
If Michigan hits the 3 ball, this game's over from the
yeah.
tip because
yeah.
if they get hot, they get hot. As you saw against Texas A&M,
Poole.
Jordan Poole is
he's
very
done.
good.
All I gotta say is
But they won by
there's-
27.
There's
in the
one
league.
man.
That's just
There's one man who I call the X Factor. Muhammad Ali Abdul Rakim. He has 4 names. You know how many? That's double than most people, Cooper. Do you not understand that? He has 4 names. The more names, the better. It's a simple fact. The more names, the better. It's simple math. You know what they say? The more, the merrier. Tell me why a guy with the name Muhammad Ali Abdul Rakim, one of the
Plus
greatest
he has-
athletes.
plus he
one
has
of the great-
Muhammad Ali in
Yeah,
his
one of the
name.
greatest athletes of all time in his name. Is in his name. He's the X Factor. He's going to carry them. Mo Wagner's going to do his thing. We all expect that.
Hey, but we got to give a shout out to Marquise Towns, is it?
Yeah.
From St. Joe's Metuchen, New Jersey, playing down the road from us.
Easily.
On Loyola Chicago. He was counted out. He some colleges wanted him to play football, not basketball. And he went to Fairleigh Dickinson in New Jersey, the Division I
put some
Fairleigh
respect on
Dickinson.
their name.
I don't put any respect on their name. They're terrible.
Fairly ridiculous.
And he transferred.
Cooper, how do you feel about their athletic
Syracuse still hit him up after he transferred. They said, "Do you want to come back and play football for us?" He said, "No, I want to play basketball." He goes to Loyola Chicago, a no-name school, and look what he's doing right now in the
He's putting
tournament.
them on the map.
He's putting Jersey on the map.
Who do you the game?
Well, I think he's putting Loyola Chicago.
I think he's putting Loyola Chicago.
And
I
Jersey.
think people know where
For
New Jersey is on
Jersey.
the
He's
map.
putting on for
Yeah.
Jersey.
I don't like if the word Chicago wasn't in Loyola Chicago, people would
I don't
probably.
think
It is though. It
People
is
would-
though.
people would guess it was like
Oh,
Utah,
it is
probably.
though. It is though. Yeah.
Well, for now,
Okay, so who we all picking here?
until they get rid of the.
If Loyola Chicago
Unless
wasn't, if Chicago wasn't in Loyola Chicago, it would just be Loyola University of Maryland. The same
No, no,
one,
no.
the
What I'm saying
Greyhounds.
is they'll disband the one in Maryland and it'll just be Loyola.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's
University.
advance to each of us stating our picks.
All right, so for the national championship, I'm gonna pick the game Michigan versus Villanova, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be the Villanova Wildcats for the national title. Joshua Wango, congratulations.
So I'm gonna go different here because I think the slipper still fits, and I think it's gonna be Loyola Chicago Villanova.
But
The
then
score of 53-59 Loyola Chicago, and they're gonna win the national championship.
I would
think-
love that. I honestly,
But to be honest with you, there's nothing more that I would rather see than that happen. But if I'm going with my absolute honest opinion, then I think
This kid blows his nose like a whale.
you done?
Yeah.
Got any more mucus?
Nope.
None. Glad. But if I'm gonna be realistic, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a Wolverine versus a Wildcat. And Cooper, let me be honest with you. What mascot do you think would win in a fight?
Wolverine.
Wolverine. And that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna have more heart. They're gonna come hungry. They're gonna shred the Wildcat into shreds.
All right, Tom.
Well, I'm gonna retract on what I said before. I really think Villanova's gonna win now that game. And I think it's gonna be Villanova, Michigan.
Contradictory.
Obviously, I want Villanova. I would want Villanova, Loyola Chicago, to win, and then Loyola Chicago to win. But it's Villanova that's gonna win it all now.
Yeah, same thing goes for me. Give me a moment.
Please, Tom. Please today.
There it is. Yeah, I think it's going to be Michigan Villanova final. I think Villanova will win by about 6-7 points. it'll come down to a couple big shots at the end, and I think Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges will be capable of making those shots. And then I would want Loyola Chicago to win as well, but they're going.
They're going up against.
They're going against.
on fire.
Yeah.
Like they
They could.
I honestly
They can get by Michigan.
No, I honestly think Michigan's gonna lose. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
They could.
They're gonna lose.
They can get by Michigan,
They
but
just have a little more size. That's the best.
if they see Villanova in the championship,
There's no
Villanova will win by
They
20.
would dice up any team in the nation.
They needed a miracle.
Any
Houston.
team.
All right. Well, as you can see, it's an ongoing debate. We're all very excited.
But all that matters
This
is what
coming
actually
weekend,
happened.
we're excited to see what happens. We'll have a podcast coming out after the national championship. Thank you very much for staying
Shout out
tuned.
Lodge.
Captain America, you know it's good.
Shout out Nick's Pizza.